Hi, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade. Today we're going to be pulling the wiring harness off the playfield. Now, I'm going to describe to you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a big piece of paper and make a map of the playfield. I actually got one right here. Very rude, crude, I shouldn't say rude, but it's a very crude map of the playfield. As you can see, I made colors, and over here I got what are the rib nuts. I don't really, I can't remember what the name is, but the rib nuts, the GI, and the braided jumpers. These are basically all the light sockets, anything to do that is hardwire connected to a playfield. Yeah, really rib nuts. They're I forgot what the hell they're called, but I'm calling them rib nuts on this for some odd reason. Rib nuts. Let's just tape this up over here on the bottom of Playboy, just so you can see what I'm going to do. Alright, what's nice about this Playboy, it doesn't have the typical switch matrix like, let's say, Firepower did. If you would have watched a Firepower video where these wires would have two lights coming off of it, I could turn my phone off, where they'd have two wires coming off of it for the switch matrix. What's nice about the Playboy is every light socket just has the power braid and then a ground wire that's hooked up to the top. I will get you in tighter so you can see what we're doing, what I'm talking about. Okay, here, this is the power wire. This is not a ground braid. This is the main power wire for the playfield. This wire here is the ground wire that hooks up to the bottom of the light bulb. Each one of these is a ground wire. That's what they are. And in the main uncovered braid here, that is the power that is supplying all of these bulbs. So what I'm going to show you first, we're going to start up here. I need to put my headgear on so I can see what is going on. I'm going to try to move the camera up a little bit. And we're going to come out. Okay, that'd be about good right there. We're going to start with this socket right here and this right here. This is letting me know it's a GI and that's a GI. What we're going to do first, the first letter, I got them all circled: red, brown, blue, black, yellow, white, green, violet, orange, gray, and tan. Don't necessarily know if all those colors are going to be on this playfield, but that's just how we're doing it. The first wire I always do is the main body of the GI socket. This wire here goes to the middle, kind of like these. And so this blue is going to be basically just like the power braid. So that's what I always do first when there's two wires on a socket. So I'm going to put blue, which is B. And then since this has another wire on it, which is red and yellow. Let me see how I did it on Firepower. Okay. Be red and white. Okay, so now that right there just told me that this blue is going to be the main power wire that goes around the bulb, and this one is my switched wire. So I'm just going to go to every wire and do this. Right here, This is a blue and yellow. Blue would be B. Y would be yellow. Actually, blue, yellow. There, because that's got a power braid on it. Here, we just need this one wire. So we're going to do a couple of these, and then I'm going to get to just doing this by myself. Okay, this is, the trick, one thing on here is it has gray and what do we call it? It's not tan. I guess it would be slate. I need to defer what is going to be what, so I don't. Let's use slate. Do I have an S for anything? No. S-L-A-T-E. Slate. The reason why I do that because there are gray wires on here, and with slate, which would be one over here. It's a slate wire with gray dashes on it. So we're just gonna mark it that way. This one will be, looks like white and black, and it's broke already, so which is good. White and black. Which will be right here. W and B. There's like a hole or something there. B, L. And here is green and red. Green and red. Wait, did I add those in correctly? No, I didn't even add those in. Oh, so we got to change those. There are two more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So yeah, I didn't even add these in. I forgot to. So let's add those in. Those are down further. Totally missed them. See? Now those, we need to change those. Those are not going to be used as the colors because those are the incorrect colors for them. That's white and black. And that's green and red. There. Now this one is white and red. And red. This one is white and orange. Also, I'm going to go over this with a video and document all the colors too. Now, for here, let's see if I can zoom in to that. Like I said, this is how I do it. You can figure out your own mapping. Alright, right here we got orange wire that goes on top, and it's got a a braid that goes across from top of bulb to top of bulb. Since these do have 2 wires, I'm going to write on my sheet orange on top, and then right below it I'm going to put green. That way it's going to let me know. I'll show you. Orange and then green. It'll be just G, yeah. And G. Alright. That will take me up to here. That green right here is telling me we got the braid jumper right up here. I know you can't see it. However, O and then G. O and then G. O and G. So it's going to tell me orange is going to go on the top, and then green will go on the bottom. Orange on top, green on the bottom. Which technically is backwards. I'm gonna actually change these because the green is the ground on this game. Let me get back down here. I kind of want to have all the wiring the exact same on this game for my orange, this wire orange that's on the top, and then green's on the bottom. I want to have the ground just like all these other bulbs on the top. So I'm actually going to flip these for how I'm wiring it. I'm putting the shell of the bulb as the hot, and the bottoms is the ground. Just like how most of the GIs are lit, and all the switched lights are lit. Because this base, this whole base that's right here, this is power, and that goes to the side of the bulb, which is power, and we'll just get more to it like this. This outside shell here, this is what is getting the power from the machine, and that right there, that is getting the ground. That's how this machine's wired up. However, these are backwards, so we're going to reverse that. It doesn't matter what incandescent bulbs or LED bulbs really, but I want to just make it consistent through the whole game and just do that. So I want to switch these. Switch. And these ones here should be exactly the same, yeah. Orange on top, and then green on the bottom. G. That one just got G. Swap that to top. There. So like I said, I want to make everything consistent where all the bases are power and all the tops are ground. Because there are a lot of actual, like these GI inserts here, where they've been flipped. Let me see if I can find an example. Here's one right here. I just want to make them exactly the same. Right here. I don't know how good you're going to see it. Right here. This is soldered to the middle of the bulb. And as you can see, if we follow this, this one is soldered to the outside of the bulb. And this is the middle of the bulb. So technically, according to this, the red, blue, and orange wires here are hot wires, and the green and white are ground wires. I went through the schematics and looked at it. So here we got red, which is on the top here, and white, which is on the base. However, and then on this side here, let me turn the camera. We have just the opposite again. We have the orange on the base and the green on the top. See, even though these are incandescents, the way that they're running together, it's fine, you know. But however, let's do it right, and we will connect all the bases to hot throughout the whole game. They're all going to be going that way, and all the inserts, the middle of the socket, is all going to be ground from now on. That's how I'm going to rewire all the mistakes on a playfield, because we have outside, 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 outside. This whole string right here is perfect. But when we get over here, it starts screwing up again, where they're mixing the outside and inside. So here the red is supposed to be outside, which is the inside, and then it goes to the outside, and then it goes to the outside, and then it goes to the outside, and then it goes to the outside. So this one right here is backwards. Is it going to affect how the bulb works? No. But I just want to make everyone exactly the same. Like here we got red, which is power, is outside, outside, outside. But then over here, it's on the inside for that one. So we're just going to go through and correct the few little factory mistakes, and then we're going to just get this back to the way it should be. Like I said, it's gonna work the way it is right here, but why can't we just go and correct it, like, and make it as perfect as we can? Because I think it's going to be better in the long run. So this, I'd like to use that. However, I think I'm just going to put it on my last action hero, and I'll just keep moving it around with the tape as I go and correct wiring, and then change the switches. But we will do this together. Man, my camera is like totally crooked looking. But we will do this together. We're going to start with doing the bases and all the wire color. I'll show you what we're going to do. Okay, we got blue, and then we got red and yellow. We got the green on the bottom that we need to flip to the orange on the top. Orange has to go where the green is. But you can see how these are wired and how these are wired. We got both of the orange on this side, just following the braid, and then the greens on the bottom. Greens need to go to here, and then orange can go to there. So we got that fixed. This is blue with yellow, white with black, green with red, white with red, white with orange, yellow with black, looks like red, brown, oh that's tan, brown with orange, blue with white, yellow with brown, blue with red, and it looks like red and the hell color is that? Let's say it's black. Red and black, yellow and green, and then green. And I'll hang over like that just so I can pause the video and zoom in if I have to. This is orange and blue, with the blue going to the base, which is correct. And this is black and green. This is white. This is, we'll say that's slate and gray. No. That'd be gray and white. Gray and white. This is slate and brown. This one here is white and blue. This one here is black and orange. So we can get in there and get a better view on these. This one is gray and red. This one here is green and black. This one is just yellow. This one here is white and green, but it looks gray until you get to the clean part. This one is white and red. This one is blue and white. And then here we got the GI, which is white goes here. And then red goes here. So we got white here. And then red here. We have a white here. And then a white here again. It's two wires, one wire. And they just, the red will go through and interconnect all of them. Alright. And then here we got red and blue, black and red, gray and black, yellow and blue, yellow and red, green and yellow, white and brown, green and white, white and yellow, blue and brown, blue, then we got green here, orange there, red there, and white there. I believe that is done of the mapping, but we're just going to go over all the connectors in case I missed any. This way I can go back and pause and look. That one's broke off. That one I just broke off by wiggling it. And we can also see how everything is laid out. Alright, so we got that videotaped. Well, I'm old. We got that recorded on the phone, videotaped. That shows you how old I am. And then what you need to do is go through on your harness and see how it's screwed down. I already made a video of that. But you notice where you got these big metal caps that are standoffs and how these are all screwed down. I did a video of that earlier. You know, you just go through. It looks like there's 4 sizes. This is going to be extra small, small, and then medium, and then large clamps. So I'm going to start documenting all these, and then we'll be back when I'm done. Alright, as you can see, I got it all mapped out as good as can be. You can't really see what I did, but I got my green wire here to know that I have a braid that's going around and hooking up to the pop bumpers, and it's letting me know where my white is hooking up and my red is hooking up on them. I got all these all marked and everything, but as you can see, how are those GIs mounted? Oh, those are the GIs with the orange and red. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay, these GIs here don't exist because those GIs are these GIs. So I'm going to scribble them out. So that's what those were supposed to be. These right here were supposed to be these, and that's where I screwed up down here. So these actually are these GIs. So there. And these are my nutserts or whatever the hell they are. I'm just letting myself know. But as you can see, how I went through and started mapping every single thing. Now the play field is going to be the other map. That is going to let me know where everything else goes for the braiding. So, since I got myself situated here, I'm going to pause the camera again. And I'm going to clean up my mess on the table. We're going to get the soldering iron on, and we're going to start pulling all the braid, not the braid, all the wires off all the lights, and then we can start unscrewing all the switches. What should I do first? Yeah, we'll do the lights first, and then we'll get to the switches second. So we'll be right back. Alright, so we got all the harnesses removed off of all the switches. Now, the next thing we need to do is need to find out what my pop bumpers parts are. Pops. And take all these screws out for the switches for the pop bumpers. These are no longer needed to be in a playfield because we have to swap them to the new one. Okay, these are all free and loose. Alright, top bumpers are done. So these will go. I'm going to put them over here so I know they can be cleaned. And now we got a new thing here. This is going to be for all the stand-ups. So everything that's a stand-up will come off. Which means a stand up is anything that's like a switch like this. Because these are all usually the exact same screw. Yep. Playfield screws are one of the most important things you cannot screw up on. You don't want to screw up on playfield screws. Number one thing, no. I need to mark this playfield. What I did was each one of these stand-up switches here, dot, 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 and an X. So now I put an X here and a 1 dot here on the playfield. That lets me know where those switches are going to line up in the future. Luckily there's not that many stand-ups on this game. And these will also go into my little rock tumbler. I don't think there's any more stand-ups. No. We will do this. I'm going to put the fuse in here. We'll take out the fuse. Put that there in with the stand-ups. That way I know what goes with that. Alright. Next thing is we'll take the switches off. And those will go into another container. Yeah, I think we're all set with that. Let's get another container for the switches. Now these switches I'm going to do a couple, and then I'm going to finish the rest myself because it's very repetitive. Let's do one of these switches here first. Well, let's do whatever I can zoom in without moving the camera. You can get quite a few. Alright. I believe these are all going to be exact same size, yeah. Those are all labeled. 1, 2, 1, 2. That way I know 1 goes here, 2 goes there. You know what I mean, Vern? Okay, take a switch out. And grab a zip tie. Then I'm going to zip tie the switch. These ones do not want to go through. So I might end up getting stuck using my white ones. I don't like to use because Harbor Freight's been out of them lately. I think I got 1 bag left. These are smaller. Yeah. have to go to Harbor Freight. And get more of these. Oh yeah, for your bags, poke a hole right in the middle. Do not do on top. This way you can get them out and they're never going to fall out. So there's a tech tip for you. Alright. So now we're going to zip tie just one hole on the switch. There. That switch will not fall apart on us now. There. So you can paint or tape these together too if you want to. I like the zip ties because these switches, no matter what I do to them now, I left one wire attached. Whatever I do to them now, they're not going to fall apart. I took one off, didn't I? No. I took that one off, but I didn't take that one off, you dummy. Alright, well, let's get this one since we're still in view. These, on some games, are shorter, which is going to be on this one. So I'm going to keep these separate and put them in a different container. I'm going to write on my thing B ball eject short screws. Like you can really see there. So what I'm going to do with that, ball eject, write ball eject on a paper. Like I said, for these screws here, you do not want to mix long screws like these. Take your long screws and put it in a shorter stack because you may go through the play field. So we want to keep stuff like that separated. I think Firepower had I think it had 3 different screw sizes. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to keep track of all the screw sizes. I think the rest are all long and ball eject was the only short one. But when we're done with that, I'll get back to you. Alright, now we're back. Now we are going to work on getting all the mounts off. And I started one and I ran out with a battery. So I decided to cut that one and get a battery instead. These I'm going to take off. Crap, I believe I got a video on these already. Yeah, I do. So I was going to make a video on where they're all mounted. Then I remember I did that already, so I should be able to see exactly where all of these go. There's probably going to be 2 different screws that hold these on, and the 2 different screws are going to be for these little ones I'm taking off right here, and these long ones with the mounts. Yeah, bigger screw. So yeah, just gonna pop all these off very carefully. Not, they do sell these, you can go buy new ones. And I'm mixing them up as we go. So yeah, it looks like there's maybe 3 different sizes. Yeah, this harness it's ready to come off already. As you can see, it's loose here. She's ready to go. So we're just going to work our way around, and I believe I got everything detached. I do believe I did. I'm hoping I did. But if not, we'll just desolder whatever comes around. But yeah, these will go in the ultrasonic cleaner. The other ones will go in a tumbler. And they'll get cleaned as they need. But yeah, I do believe everything is off. The thing I gotta do, I'm gonna have to take these out. These GI out. And that's because that's garbage. Why am I keeping it? Because they're holding my switches in. Say that because we will be reusing the wires on there. Oh, there we go. There. This way, going along like this too, I can see whatever wires I missed. Hopefully I don't think any, but it doesn't matter. We just desolder them. We do run into any. You're probably thinking, oh, this is kind of scary, this part. No, it's not. Well, let me not lie. The first couple times you do one, yeah, it seems pretty scary. Like you're destroying a perfectly good pinball machine, you know, that's working great. But however, we are not destroying it. We're giving it a brand new lease on life. I mean, this was a great player's game. But who wants a player's game all the time? You know what I mean? Some people just want a nice mint machine that they can play. I don't even think I'll have to wash this harness. I think this harness is just clean as it is. Maybe I'll just go around and clean up a couple wires here and there. And that'd be about it. But otherwise, it's pretty clean. That's what I do between the edits of this video. Well, I shouldn't say edits. Between the blank parts of the video where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get to doing this, I jam out the music. I went out with my soldering iron cord. Yeah, look at that. What's that for? We'll throw that out. Ah, no, it won't. It's going to go somewhere. I don't know where yet, but it will go back somewhere. I got it in my videos. There we go. We're stripped down. Now, just the next step is to get the pop bumpers out the rest of the way and poke out these nut things that hold the things in, which aren't hard to do. And just you take out the screws that are holding them down. Let me show you one we can just zoom in on. They're very easy to do. I'll do that later. They have a screw on them. That hold them down, just like that. And then, what we will do, I just get my post rebuild kit. Should be able to just get a screw. Yep. Screw it in from the bottom. Which is easier to do when you have the playfield standing up against something. There. And then you just get them out like that. Pretty easy. We'll do another one. I can find a hole. Fuck. That one just came off by pushing it. So yeah, I'll go around, take all them out, and then the next thing that will come out is these. Let's zoom you out a little bit. There. Next things that will come out are these. Like that. Pretty easy. And then those will go into my tumbler. And get tumbled. And that's that. Let me zoom you back out. Oh, one more thing. And we're going to get back to. Let me get the stuff and we'll be right back. Alright, and we're back. So we're just going to grab the iron and start taking off leads for bulb sockets. It's going to heat up in a second. I should have waited a second to turn it on. But we're hot now. There we go. So now I'm just going to start taking off leads. That's it, like that. Start taking them all off at one time. And that one broke off, so we don't have to worry about that. But yeah, it's just that easy. I'm just going to go over to playfield. Start popping them off. As you can see, I don't need to know where they go because we got our map, we got our video to tell us where they go. What I should really just do, grab out my other iron, because it just works so much better than this one. Let me do that. Get my other iron out. Mr. Old School here. This one works great. I got this from a really good friend. It's old antique. However, this thing works great. Taking these off. Takes like a couple seconds to heat up, but this thing is hot. As you can see how hot this thing gets. They just pull off that quick. They're great for big wires. Like these. Alright, as you can see, what I'm doing, it's really not that difficult. So, what I'm going to do is finish up with these two, pause the video again, and we'll get to the next step. Alright, what we're going to get into now is one thing I noticed with some of these later pinball machines. They did not have screws that held down the rails. They actually got staples. I don't know if you can really see it there, but there's a staple here, staple here, staple here, 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 here. That hold the rails down, and there's actually just one screw on the very, very end here that is holding this down. And it's got a stripped head on it. This screw here I borrowed from the inner rail. So yeah, the plunger rail actually has 1, 2, 3 screws in it. We're going to add at least one more. The back rail, which you can't see, has no screws in it. And this rail here, which would be on your right side, has no screws in it either. So actually I'm going to take Let's see how far I gotta go. I need some tape. You can hear my dryer in the background. It plays music. I'm gonna take a painter's tape. Get my new screw. Figure out how far that's going to go down. Make a little mark on the side. Don't even need to, I can see it. I'll see how far my bit's going to go down. Right there. I think it's right there. This is so much easier probably with two people. Or if I had this off the playfield. Right there. Take this. That's my guide. That way I can take my new screw. There, look at that. Screws right down on the playfield, holds that down real nice. And these holes are huge on this. That's the same head screw. Yeah, just holds them down. So I'm gonna drill holes in here to hold the rails down, because was it the last one I did, I think it was the Williams Firepower, I think that didn't have any screw holes in it. So yeah, now I'm going to put all these screws in there. This way I know that there's screws in it. There. Now that side is screwed down. Now I just got to do this whole side here. You want to drill straight? And even. Need to get your screws in perfect. Okay, forward. This way I know. One more. There's one on the end here. This way I know. I probably didn't need 4 screws, 5 screws in that back. But at least now I know that I got these done. Now the other trick is just pulling these out with the nails or the staples. There, that whole rail's on. What we got? I'll put a couple more. Well, let's just put them all in. That side's going to be harder for me to do. I'm going to have to go over here. One more. There. There. Now I know there's a screw in every hole. Where the hell's my adapter? Here it goes for my drill. I always keep this in there. But yeah, there we go. So, wiring harness part done. I might as well leave this out here. I definitely will be using this again. So we gotta drill holes in the playfield yet. Drill holes underneath the playfield. We gotta do all that yet. And that's not gonna fit in there with the tape on it. But either way, we're not gonna be drilling that far into the playfield. So yeah, even though there are holes in a new playfield, you gotta finish the holes. Make them the correct width, depth, and everything. They're just guides for you to follow. You put your mechs on and measure everything else. Another thing I do have to drill is the holes for the mount down bar at the end. They don't put them in for some reason. So yeah, that's about it. Give me a like, subscribe, and drop some comments down if this helped you. And yeah, the next part is we're gonna get onto the new playfield and start swapping stuff over. So cool stuff along the bottom here. Take care and later.